So I have put together 7 different ways of looking at aging that will help you not only to lose the fear about it, but to really embrace it and feel empowered. So let's get started. So the first mind shift that shifts us out of focusing on aging to embracing maturing, embracing your journey as you continue to evolve, is to stop telling yourself the stories that you have heard or maybe believed about age. Maybe you picked it up from the internet or social media. You know, when you're 55, you're gaining a pound every year. With 60, you're slowing down. With 65, the aches and pains start. With 70, you become more forgetful. With 75, if you wake up without pain, you're dead. And with 80, you better croak because it's your time. Stop. This is just something someone put out there, and you don't have to follow it. And I have to admit, one of the things that I did, and maybe it's denial, I don't think so, but when I turned 50, I told myself, for the next 10 years at least, I'm going to stay 50. I'm going to imagine I'm 50. I'm going to celebrate my 50th birthday every year again and again. Now, at some point, someone asked me, so how old are you? And immediately I said 50, even though I was 56. But still, it's something that my mind did not latch onto a number and some expectation about it. Just like a friend of mine I met this weekend again on the dance floor at a wedding, and she danced her heart out. I mean, really, I have to admit my moves are not very elegant, but she was jumping around and hopping and really, really skillfully dancing with her partner. And I asked her, because I know her quite a bit, but I don't know her age. I asked her, how old are you? And she told me she's 73. But she feels like 40. And she never, ever thinks about how old she is. And when you're older, you're not allowed to do certain things. You're expected to do other things. She just does whatever she wants, and that shows. And I admire this. So I think we have to reclaim our own narrative about aging and simply decide, like I decided I'm going to be in the best shape of my life when I turn 60. You can decide something that you regain your flexibility in the next few years. Like the yogis say, age is not determined by the numbers of years we lived, but by the flexibility of our spine. So just set your goals, be clear that you make up your own rules about aging, and forget about those stories and programs, because you don't have to follow them. The second mind shift is to honor your own rhythm and be flexible with it. You know, we cannot necessarily push as hard as we used to. We cannot party as long or drink as much as we wanted to without necessarily having some repercussions. So listen to what your body needs. Don't necessarily believe that your body needs to be completely cuddled and, now it needs to be wrapped in cotton. No, just notice that, I'm going to go a little bit differently than in the past. I'm going to maybe take some more breaks. Maybe my body wants just to have a nap once in a while. Maybe it wants to sleep a little bit longer or sleep a little bit in. Doesn't matter. We don't have to run as fast or push as hard as we used to. Because with the wisdom of age, we may have found out that maybe you go slower, but if you go steady, you will still reach the goal, maybe even faster than the ones that were running out of steam. So honor a new rhythm. Don't go into this idea, I'm going to defy aging by just pretending that I can still do what I used to do when I was 30. Just honor the rhythm and allow yourself to be kind and also supportive to your body and also to your mind. The third mind shift is that you continue to learn, to grow, to expand, and to get out of your comfort zone. If we don't have any goals that make us advance, we shrivel away. Just like plants, when they stop growing, usually they are dying. So always make sure that you stay open, to, as I said before, maybe reach a goal. My goal is certainly to go for many more long distance hikes in my life, discover many more beautiful places in that rhythm that is so beautiful as we are turning back to our nomad roads and hiking days after day to really enjoy not only the environment, but also this connection to ourselves. And you may have other goals. Make a goal of making new friends, learning a new language, or just having another skill that you always knew you want to have, but somehow you never really got around. Playing an instrument or doing some pottery or whatever those things are that your heart desire. For this, I really suggest to you to do a living list. I don't like bucket list, just do a living list. And it doesn't have to be this, big thing. I want to go to Australia, Rio, and the North Pole. It can be much more easy and small, but still something that you feel every day I'm moving closer to enrich my life a little bit more, to have more experiences that I enjoy. So continue to stretch. Don't stop learning and growing. And number 4 is that you really have a purpose. That is something that so many studies that have talked about, what is the secret of a long life, of a long, happy life, that they found that when people were attending to a garden or having a pet or the grandchildren or volunteering or even working in a supermarket and bagging groceries, well, many may do this because they need the money, but others do it because they feel like that gets them still out there and they feel there is a meaning to the day. Whatever it is, make sure that you feel you wake up in the morning with something to do and somewhere to go, something to attend to. And that is important because it also gives you, at the end of the day, a sense of ownership, a sense of, I do matter here and I'm making a difference. The 5th way is tied into the one I just mentioned to you, which is the purpose. And that is to know that you matter, to remind yourself that your voice matters. You deserve to be seen. You are claiming your space. Don't make yourself smaller. So many people I see when I go to the gym, for example, I see older people entering into the gym and they have their gaze down as if they don't want to be seen or talked to. And when I greet them, hello, good morning, they look up and are surprised that someone actually notices them. So really be proud of who you are, how far you came, what you have learned, and stand by it. Feel good about yourself and also share that wisdom with others. Doesn't mean that you have to stand on a soapbox and, just preach to others, but it means that your opinion matters, that your story is something that you want to pass on. Like my mother-in-law, who wrote this beautiful life story to all of her kids and all the wisdom and all the learnings and all the insights she's gained. And it really means a lot to them and the grandchildren because it does feel that there are things that me may actually either have not experienced or may experience in the future that she already gives us some insights around, or maybe some pointers on how to handle this better. And you'd certainly get a deeper insight in this beautiful treasure box of her life that was so rich and in many ways so interesting. And I think all of our lives are rich and interesting, and we need to share them. We can do recordings, we can do a video about this where you just, once in a while sit down and reminisce. My mother did that, unfortunately, without recording her video, but she told me about a month before she passed a lot about her childhood that I didn't even know. And it was so fascinating how she grew up now it's Poland and Eastern Germany before the war, and how they had to flee and what that all meant, and her childhood, which was so different to how I grew up and even more different to how younger people grew up. So there is a lot that I really treasured from this conversation. Unfortunately, also a lot I forgot. So maybe this is something you do want to do for the people that you care about and love, your friends, your family, that you share your sentiment, your wisdom, yourself a little bit more. And again, with that notion in mind, I matter. I continue to matter. I take my space. I claim my life until the very last day. It's a very important attitude to have. And I hope that in the future we will see more the resurgence of looking at older people as some treasure in our society that needs to be not only supported, but also revered, listened to, honored, and respected. I think we can get there again. Number 6 is to honor and respect your body and your mind. I think it's a really, really unhealthy habit that when we are aging, we are fighting ourselves. We are looking in the mirror and we are starting to hate on ourselves. Oh, those wrinkles. Oh, that damn gravity. What does it do with my body? And oh, I'm looking so horrible. I don't even recognize the person anymore who I am. And then some of us are just doing whatever they can with some potions and lotions and even surgery to go back and fight time and fight aging, and not always with the best results. So I do believe that we have to shift our attitude away from how we look. Of course, we can always try to really please ourselves by, making ourselves look as good as we can. But the more important thing is to honor the mind and the body as these faithful servants that have been really by our side for so many years. The body is certainly deserving more our deepest gratitude, considering especially how badly we often treat our body. We feed it horrible things. We are intoxicating it, smoking, drinking, any other drugs. We are mostly sitting down and not even moving it or stretching it. We are overriding its pain, its cry for help with some painkillers. I mean, our body is beaten down by how we treat it, and it still keeps on going like a faithful servant. So I think the body deserves better as we are getting older. And so listen more to what your body says. It is amazing how the body is responding with generosity when we are shifting a little bit how we treat it and improve our relationship to it. Look in the mirror in the morning, go in the shower with a sense of gratitude and simply say, wow, thank you so much. Thank you, arms. Thank you, legs. Thank you, digestive system, etc. And just gain this attitude of gratitude, which will also make you feel so much closer to yourself. And then, of course, the mind as well. Yes, the mind may sometimes slow down or slip a little bit or just let go of unimportant information, which we call then forgetfulness, but it still serves us so well. And so the mind also deserves a lot of praise and a lot of support. So give your mind the rest it needs. Don't just bombard it with all this unnecessary information. Rather go into meditation or into journaling or anything that helps your mind to feel cleansed and clear. And just notice that again, also your mind gonna really, really pay back in dividends if you are treating it well. And the last shift, number 7, is to intend to leave this earth in 2 ways. Fulfilled with the contributions you made and the love you received and shared, and fulfilled with the experiences you had in your life. There is an unhealthy trend when we are getting older to isolate ourselves or to contract or to just give up on certain dreams that we may have and somehow shut down. So many people I know that got older are just vegetating in front of the TV and basically expecting the bare minimum, not realizing this is the time to really enjoy the most. And this is the time to give all the love that you have inside of you and be open to receive it all. This is the time to still say, what contribution can I make? What have I not done? Maybe I need to forgive someone. Maybe I need to make peace with another person. Maybe there is someone I know needs my help, and now is a time to do it. I often talk about my uncle, who was a fabulous man with the greatest sense of humor. And he postponed his happiness because he was a hard worker. He was a refugee from Eastern Europe. He postponed his happiness until he retired. And 1 year into his retirement, he died of a heart attack. So don't make those mistakes where it's all about tomorrow, this procrastination around the things that are important or meaningful or pleasurable. This is the time now. And this is the time to also take in those pleasures. Sometimes when I remind myself of this point, I'm sitting down and I'm looking at our beautiful garden and I'm taking in what I see, and I really anchor this in my mind as this is what it means to be here on earth and be alive. Or I have this beautiful meal, maybe a fruit salad, and I really savor it to the best of my abilities. Or hugging my wife, just feeling this connection, this love, and just enveloped in this blanket. Take those things in as if there is no tomorrow. Of course, there is a tomorrow, but just have the mindset, okay, I know as I'm aging, there is also this awareness that I'm gonna run out of time, so I will make the most out of it. I don't care what other people are thinking. This is a gift of aging, I have to say, that you don't take others' opinions so serious. You can consider that, but you don't take it personally anymore because you've been there, you've gone through this, and it's not worth it. There is a privilege about aging to also realize that the judgment of others says way more about them than about yourself. And you don't take it so to heart. You don't sweat the small stuff. You have bigger, more important pleasures to enjoy and things that you really want to go for, and not waste your time on these little, annoyances. So make every day as a day that fills you up more with experiences, a day that you have given some love and received some love back in whatever form. Doesn't have to be just a close person. It can be simply an encouraging smile to someone that you feel has a bad day. That is already sharing some love. And then contribution making, as I mentioned before, whatever you can do to feel like, I did my share today. I did something meaningful today. It will continue to make you feel not only that you matter, but it also keeps you feel that you are here because you're alive. And being alive, that's the joy. It's not about being a certain age. It's about being alive and being in that present moment. That's what you want to embrace. And this way you are actually stretching time. If life has a container inside that needs to be filled up so that when we have our last breath, we feel like, I did it. I succeeded in this life. It was a good one, and I'm pleased without any regrets. Well, now is a time to really go for this, because you can make it happen. The gist of everything I'm telling you, there is no need to be afraid of aging, but there is so much to look forward to. So make inner peace and self-acceptance a priority. Savor yourself, savor life in every day. Embrace the changes that are happening and be open to be adaptable and flexible, and see with anything that may not go as it used to, that there is a new opportunity to do it differently and maybe even better, and help you to continue to grow. Now, if this is something that you enjoyed and if you got something out of it, please subscribe to my channels, to my outlets, also here on YouTube, and send me comments also about topics that you would love to have addressed in the realm of self-empowerment. I certainly am here to give you all the insights and all the things I have learned throughout the years, and hopefully can support you along your journey with that. Hi, Dr. Friedemann here. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about fear and anxiety, here you'll find guided meditations, webinars, and interviews with some of the most renowned experts in the field of empowerment. Delve into the over 230 videos and more to come every week.